I feel like it's a little disrespect to me, and not just to me, but to him as well, like to Imavov as well. Like he's our fight has potentially title implications wrapped around it, whereas this is 11 and 14, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the two guys in the main event. They should be the co-main event under us. I mean, I get it, Saint Denis is super famous here, but at the end of the day, like we're fighting. Like people are gonna come watch the fight no matter what. I don't know if like people are gonna come watch no matter what. If he's on the co-main or the main, just put him on the card. People are still gonna come watch. Um, but when it comes to worldwide, like MMA and fans, like everyone knows me and Imavov are the real main event.
All right, the UFC returns to action and to Paris, France this weekend. And in the co-main event, Nassourdine Imavov faces this man, the surging Brendan Allen, who brings a 7-fight win streak into this big fight. Brendan, it has been a minute, my man. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Second fight of the year coming up. We saw you in April. You and Chris Curtis put on one of the best fights of the year at the Apex, and you get the win. Biggest takeaways from that one, outside of just getting your hand raised and keeping this win streak alive?
There's a lot of people that don't know the rules of MMA or how to judge a fight.
How so? What in particular did you notice?
Uh, I think for me the main takeaways was like I have a problem with losing focus in fights. Like I just get too complacent, but I was able to refocus myself in and get back to the game plan where we needed it. Yeah, that's what I took away from the fight. But um, yeah, Chris,
It's it,
I,
well, I mean, it
yeah,
was just kind of wild to watch, man, because you had been so dominant heading into that fight. You had the four straight submissions, one way traffic in pretty much all of them, and you hear big team college football fans say all the time, "Look, it's great to go out there and beat every team by 40, but having that battle of attrition, those sort of nail biters, if you will." Those can provide a little bit of a spark to get you back on track. It seems like you found that a little bit here. Do you feel the same about that with this fight, that maybe you needed that kind of a fight as you prepare to fight the top guys in this division?
to me, I mean, I just think Chris is that guy that. Well, first, we never get a full camp for each other. We've fought both times on short notice. One on what I think I don't even know. One on 6 or 7 days, maybe. The next one on 2.5, 3 weeks. So, um, um, we never get a full camp for one another, so that makes it difficult for each of us. Um, but then also stylistically, like he's a tank. He just walks forward. He's short. He's stocky. He's hard to get underneath when you're shooting because obviously it takes me a lot more distance to cover to get down there than it does for him. Um, he's been striking for a long time, so he knows where to be and how to be for his style. So it's just hard. Like he knows he knows what he's doing, but I still think I clearly won the fight. No one can ever make me feel any differently. No one can make me feel it was a split. I've watched it probably a million times, and I don't see a split. I'll be super generous and say 3-2, but I had it 4-1. Um, but it is what it is at this point. But the fights are always good. I always know if it's with Chris, it's going to be a war. It's going to be a tough one. You got to dig deep, and you have to expect those things. Just got to be focused and do your best not to get caught. And I did that there, and I'm going to try to do the exact same thing Saturday night.
Yeah, he'll do it in enemy territory, his home turf. What was your reaction to getting Nasruddin?
Nothing really, man. I'm pretty chill, to be honest. I thought I mean, I was a little upset that I didn't get like Sean or someone high up like that, like one or two to really put me in the rankings, especially after I've been supposed to fight up so many times and I end up fighting back and defending. I don't think there's. I really don't know, but I don't think there's anyone in the top 15 who's defended their spot as many times as I have. Even outside of the top 15, I had to be 16 or 17 and was fighting guys that were maybe in the 20s. So I've always seen, it seems I've always had to defend my spot a lot more than getting the opportunities to fight up. So, really, it's just nice to fight up and, I'll believe it when it happens because anything can happen. And I'm so scared of pullouts and injuries and stuff like that. So I just hope everything's smooth sailing and we both fight Saturday night. and whatever the outcome is, I can accept it, and it's going to be what it's going to be.
Because the reason I asked, because I remember you put out that video not long before the fight was announced, and you were like, "Look, if I'm going to go there and fight this guy, and I'm going all the way to Paris, I should be in the main event." And then shortly after, we find out Moicano and Benoit Saint Denis are in the main event, and then it just seemed like you felt like it was kind of a, maybe not a slap in the face, but you felt like you deserved that spot more. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like, what sort of changed there for you?
Well, first, I had signed the fight. I already agreed to the fight before that came out. That was more just like a ploy, but I did mean it. I feel like it's a little disrespect to me, and not just to me, but to him as well, like to Imavov as well. Like he's our fight has potentially title implications wrapped around it, whereas this is 11 and 14, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the two guys in the main event. They should be the co-main event under us. I mean, I get it, Saint Denis is super famous here, but at the end of the day, like we're fighting. Like people are gonna come watch the fight no matter what. I don't know if like people are gonna come watch no matter what. If he's on the co-main or the main, just put him on the card. People are still gonna come watch. Um, but when it comes to worldwide, like MMA and fans, like everyone knows me and Imavov are the real main event. And I just felt, being as we're so close to title, one of us is obviously going to go forward into that potential happening, that potential fight of fighting for a belt. I feel like we should have fought 5 rounds just to further show. And um, my thought was if he thinks he's going to knock me out and it's going to be pretty much an easy fight, then that's an extra $25,000 in your pocket that you don't even have to worry about going the extra round. So, um, end of the day, though, it is what it is. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm going to be ready. I'm only going to get more ready. Um, and it's going to be what it's going to be, man. I've controlled what I can control, and that's my preparation. And I've done the best that I can do with what I had, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to see what's going to happen. I'm ready for the outcome because I don't know what it's going to be, and I just hope it falls in my favor.
He lost his first UFC fight, I believe. And then he went on a little bit of a run, and then the Sean Strickland fight happened, and then the clash of heads fight with Chris Curtis, and then after that, people started sort of jumping off the train, and then since then, back to back main events, back to back wins over Roman Dolidze and Jared Cannonier. What have you made of his UFC run, especially as of late, and have you been impressed by what he's done in there?
I think right now, I think his best attribute is his confidence. I think you see his confidence rising. But as far as technical abilities, I still think he's the same guy that you've seen in the first fight, to the second fight, to the third fight, to however many fights he has. I still think he's the same guy. I just think his confidence is growing, and but technically, I still think he's the same guy. I think he's good. I think he's a good fighter. Obviously, he's here for a reason. Um, I just think I'm better. And again, that's my assumption, that's my opinion, but um, we'll find out Saturday night if I'm right or if I'm wrong. And I'm okay with being wrong and I'm okay with being right. So I'm ready to just to see just that, if I'm right or if I'm wrong. The anticipation is what kills at this time. The wondering, the anxiety of what's gonna happen, what's the outcome. That's always the worst part for me at this point. And that's why for me, I'm just try to keep my mind off of it, keep my mind away from the fight as much as I can, and just try to laugh and spend time with my loved ones and people who love me as well.
Do you have a lot of people who took the trip with you?
Not really. I have my wife over here.
Oh, there you
She,
go.
yeah, she's pregnant, so we got our son here too.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, and then Tuco's like my brother. He's here somewhere in France getting some food. My boy Unj is here. And then he's got his friends that I'm also friends with now from London coming over. So not a crazy amount of people, but it's good enough, man. It's good enough for this far journey. I don't ask my friends and family to travel. At the end of the day, it's a business trip. I'm going to where I'm going to fight. So who knows what's gonna happen? I could lose, I could win, I could be walking after, I could not be walking. I might be in the hospital after, I might not. I've been all of those things. So I'm not thinking past Saturday night. I'm just focused on those 17 minutes of potentially a war.
17 minutes. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
It's going to be, it's an interesting matchup. Two things I was really surprised about, just kind of like doing a little research. One, he's 4 spots higher than you in the UFC rankings, which as a guy, we're talking to a guy at a 7-fight win streak, and you've had some good wins, some main events mixed in. I didn't think he was that higher ranked. And then the other thing is, I looked at the betting odds, and I don't know how much you pay attention to this. He's a minus 245 favorite in this fight. I know that doesn't tell the whole story about where they started, but it just seems pretty wide to me, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I'm the only guy on the win streak that I'm on that falls places in the rankings. Like when guys above me are on losses or consecutive losses. I don't even know, but I know they're on losses. So it's just whatever. Like it's kind of comical at this point. Like I don't know. I don't even know who's on the board panel, but if anyone told me they were on the rankings, I would never have a conversation with them ever. Like I'd literally tell them go fuck themselves because to me they're retarded. But whatever.
I know you're not looking past Saturday, but there are there's a lot of conversation about stakes in this division right now because you get DDP as the champ. Whittaker and Chimaev are getting ready to fight in about a month, and many believe the winner of that fight will be next for the belt. And if you get the job done on Saturday, that's 8 in a row. And again, I know you're not looking past Saturday, but your name is just not being mentioned in these conversations. Is that a little frustrating, or are you seeing guys like Bilal Muhammad, who I know you're very familiar with, guys like Merab Dvalishvili, who have had to scratch and claw and get double-digit win streaks, and then once they get their opportunity, they cash in and win the belt?
Yeah, man, it's I think for me it's just I don't have the followers that a lot of these other guys have, and I don't have the time nor the want to really put the effort into getting those and do the things that you have to or should do, whatever. Or let me rephrase this. I don't have the time nor the want to do what Americans have to do in order to get those followers. I'm not willing to go out here and act crazy. I'm not willing to go out here and fucking troll everyone because everywhere we go, everywhere I go, I'm going to end up having a problem with someone because everyone gets butthurt about anything you say. So I don't want to have a problem with someone everywhere I got to go, especially if I bring my wife with me or if I bring my kids with me. Like I just try to mind my business and stick to myself and let my fighting do the talking. Because at the end of the day, the person off my head that I can think of that did that was Robbie Lawler, and he's one of the most loved people in the sport right now, and or he was and still is by the company, by the fans. Like he's one of the most respected and loved guys. So I feel like if I stay true to myself, then everything that I'm hoping for will hopefully come. Um, yeah, I just wish I could get the money without the fame kind of thing. It's kind of I don't know. I'm just sometimes I just don't think I'm built for that life. I
Yeah,
just don't think I'm built for that life sometimes, man. Yeah.
I mean, there was a time where wins and meritocracy spoke for themselves, right? Maybe we're on our way back, seeing how this year has gone, right?
Yeah, well, one can hope. One can hope. But yeah, hopefully, obviously everything's standing on him, and I'm in his way, and he's in my way, and one of us got to prevail. One of us got to prevail. But in my head, like everyone keeps saying, he's my test and this and that. But I fought guys like him before, similar, maybe obviously not the exact same guy, but similar guys, similar stature, styles. Maybe they're not as fast, but they're better here. He's better here. I fought similar guys before. I don't think he's fought similar guys to me at all. And at the end of the day, I've got 14 UFC fights. He's got 14 professional wins. Like I'm the test for him. I'm the one that's been in the division. I'm the one with the win streak. I'm the one with um all the accolades, the good resume. His resume is okay too. His resume is good, but um yeah, it's not my fault I haven't got the opportunities to jump like he has. I didn't get those opportunities. I wasn't afforded those. So um end of the day I've done what the best I could with what I had. But now we're here and we have to see. One of us has to be right and one of us has to be wrong, and I'm ready for just that.
I don't know if you're in the prediction game these days after 14 UFC fights, but how do you see this thing going down on Saturday?
Man, honestly, I really don't know. I know he's gonna be fast. I know he's gonna hit me. I'm gonna hit him. Um, and I don't know. I think it's just gonna be who can dig deeper in a dog fight because I'm coming to make it a technical dog fight and see if he can handle it. I don't think he can, but it's up to him to prove me wrong. I'm going out there to impose my will and make him quit. Whatever he gives me on that way to quitting, I'll take it. TKO, submission, whatever that is. I don't know. I just know I'm going out there to fight. I'm going to fight.
Couple last things. Have you seen your old buddy Marvin Vittori lately? What happened there? You allegedly got
Yeah.
more headlines. What is that? I don't even know how I got confetti over my head, but you allegedly got more headlines than an entire PFL event. Do you know anything about that?
Man, all I woke up to was all everyone tagging me and stuff. I don't even know, man. I wasn't there. I was with Gerald, my boy Gerald Newshart. I have no idea, man. I wasn't. I saw the same video as you guys saw. Guy that looked like
That wasn't
me.
you.
I don't know. It wasn't me, bro. It wasn't me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Listen, there's a lot going on in this division. I want to ask you about the champion right now. I know you're not looking to him right now, but a lot of people are sort of just talking about his fighting style because he's a brute, Dricus du Plessis, and he just keeps finding ways to win fights. And pundits and experts look at his fighting style and they say to themselves, "Oh, he's doing everything wrong, but yet he's still finding ways to win." What have you made of his run right now? Because while people say that and the quote unquote experts continue to downplay his fighting style, the dude's winning fights, he's finishing people, and he's got the belt right now.
That's all that matters, right? He's cashing checks and winning fights, and he's got the gold right now, and everyone's chasing him. So good for him. I think his best thing is he can make it a fight, and he can dig deep. He finds a way to win, and yeah, I think that's his best attributes. I don't anything else outside of that doesn't really stick out, but he does those two things really well, and obviously that's what you need because he's the champion right now.
Who do you think wins the Whittaker Chimaev fight?
I don't know, man. It's tough. I would say Whittaker just based off maybe off of experience.
It's 5 rounds too.
Yeah, exactly. 5 rounds. Um, him focused, I think, wins that fight.
Well, Robert Whittaker and Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis and Israel Adesanya and all these other names are names that you could be seeing very, very soon based on what happens this Saturday. Brendan, I know you just a few days away from this fight. I appreciate the time. Thank you very much. Looking forward to the fight and all the best to you. Enjoy the beautiful sights and sounds of Paris this week.
Thanks, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Thank you for the time and hope you're well as well.